An American in the Cape Colony, the story of Jacob Cuyler. Jacob Cuyler was the son of Major General Glynn Cuyler, a prominent figure during the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Born in Albany, New York in 1773, Jacob Cuyler, 1773 to 1854, is best known for his contributions as a British Loyalist and his important role in shaping the development of South Africa, particularly in the Eastern Cape. Early life and Loyalist background. During the American Revolutionary War, Jacob Cuyler's family remained loyal to the British Crown, which made them targets of hostility from the American Patriots. Following the British defeat, many Loyalists, including the Cuyler family, were forced to leave their homes and seek refuge elsewhere within the British Empire. Jacob Cuyler, like many other Loyalists, became displaced and eventually found himself drawn to new opportunities in South Africa. Military and administrative career. Following in his father's footsteps, Jacob joined the British military, where his service took him to the Cape Colony, which Britain had recently acquired from the Dutch. When Jacob Cuyler arrived in South Africa in the early 19th century, he quickly became an influential figure in the colonial administration. The most notable of his roles was as Landdrost, magistrate, of Uitenhage in the Eastern Cape. This was a significant post, as it gave him authority over local governance, law enforcement, and economic development. Under Cuyler's leadership, Uitenhage grew into a vital administrative centre, and he was instrumental in bringing order to the frontier of the Cape Colony. Role in the settlement of British settlers. Cuyler's influence reached a high point during the 1820s when the British government encouraged mass settlement in the Eastern Cape. The government's goal was to establish a defensive buffer between the British colonies and the indigenous Xhosa people, who had resisted colonial expansion. Jacob Cuyler played a crucial role in overseeing the arrival and settlement of the 1820 British settlers. He helped allocate land to the settlers and provided them with the necessary resources to establish farms and new communities. This wave of settlement marked a significant shift in the region's demographics and contributed to the entrenchment of British influence in the Eastern Cape. Agricultural development and frontier conflicts. Beyond his role in settler administration, Cuyler was a key advocate for agricultural development. He encouraged the settlers to cultivate the land, adopt new farming techniques, and expand their production capabilities. His efforts in promoting agriculture helped to shape the economic development of the Eastern Cape. However, Cuyler's role in managing the colonial frontier was fraught with conflict. The Eastern Cape was a highly contested area, with ongoing resistance from the Xhosa people who sought to defend their lands against colonial encroachment. The resulting frontier wars, often referred to as the Xhosa Wars, were violent clashes between the British settlers and the Xhosa. Despite attempts at mediation and defense, the conflict would persist throughout much of the 19th century. Later life and legacy. Jacob Cuyler remained in South Africa for the rest of his life, continuing to serve in various administrative and military capacities. He passed away in 1854, leaving behind a legacy as one of the key architects of British colonial presence in the Eastern Cape. Cuyler's name is still associated with places in the region today, most notably Cuyler Manor in Uitenhage, which was his estate. Cuyler Manor has been preserved as a historical site, reflecting the history of the 1820 settlers and early British colonial life in South Africa. Last word. Jacob Cuyler's story is a unique chapter in the broader history of British Loyalists who, after the American Revolution, found new opportunities within the expanding British Empire. His contributions to the settlement and development of the Eastern Cape were instrumental in shaping South Africa's early colonial landscape. To this day, his legacy as a leader and settler organizer can still be seen in the history and places of the Eastern Cape, where his influence endures.